We're off on another motorcycle adventure. I cannot tell you how excited I am to have Ethan with me on this trip. This will be his first time riding on the twisties down in the mountains. Cannot wait to see the look on his face. We also very much appreciate the hospitality of Chad and Gina. We'll be staying with them in Johnson City, Tennessee on this trip. We have plans for the US 421, the Snake, and to ride the Jackhammer. But first, I have to meet up with Mike and Cody Huber at their house, and from there we rode down to Fort Wayne, where we met up with Ethan and headed out on the road. Our first stop on this trip was Wilder, Kentucky. We were spending the night here, just across the river from Cincinnati. We wanted to get a good night's rest before we hit them back mountain roads, heading down to Chad and Gina's. The hotel was gracious enough to let us park our motorcycles underneath the awning. That way we'd have dry seats in the morning when we took off. We got a special visit while we were down here. Scott Rout, a good friend of mine, lives in Cincinnati. He actually came and picked us up and took us out to dinner. We had an awesome time catching up. It was great to see you, Scott. The next morning, we were well rested and had beautiful weather ahead of us. And could not wait to get out on the open road. Mike's riding a 2016 Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited. His son Cody, he's riding a 2003 Yamaha FJR. Cody actually made him some highway pegs for that bike. And my son Ethan, he's riding a 2003 Honda ST1300. And me, I'm riding a 2014 Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited. The view from the motorcycle is absolutely awesome. And after we got off this 4-lane state highway, we hit some awesome back roads. Let the fun begin. We were all wearing comms units on our helmets. We were able to communicate with each other on this trip. Of course, with this being Ethan's first time on these types of roads, I was constantly letting him know he needed to make sure he was paying attention and don't let his attention get diverted for one moment, because if you do, it could be disastrous. But he did absolutely awesome. On the Snake, there's a photographer that sits along the road and takes pictures as you go by. That's my boy. What you're about to see is Ethan losing his concentration for just a split second. In doing so, he goes wide and to the right on this next curve. But in his GoPro footage, you actually see him turn his head to the left and see where he wants his bike to go. Great job, buddy. I promised your mom I'd bring you home in one piece. Along the Snake, there were some great photograph opportunities. We made sure that we took advantage of all of them. For me, this is what a motorcycle trip is all about. Spending time with friends and family and seeing things that you do not get to see when you're cruising up and down the interstate. While out riding on the Jackhammer, we were on top of Mount Rowan. Came across this pull-off. The views were absolutely stunning. Of course, we had to stop and take some pictures. Of course, I had to represent on this trip and was definitely riding with pride. There was a waterfall across the road from where we were parked at. What you're about to see is Ethan almost becoming a hood ornament, but he turned his head and to the right and seen exactly where he wanted to run. With photographs taken and memories made, it was time to head off of Mount Rowan and continue on our journey. This video cannot even do it justice. What you're about to see is some guy mowing his grass and blowing the clippings out into the road. What these people don't understand is for a motorcycle, hitting these clippings is like riding on ice. It's very dangerous. Thanks a lot, dude. And I only use the term dude to keep this video family friendly. Around every curve, the views just get better and better. On our trip home, we once again took the roads less traveled. It took us almost 8 hours to get back to Wilder, Kentucky, but man, was it worth it. The person I thank the most on these trips is the good Lord above. Once again, He kept us safe in our travels, gave us absolutely beautiful weather, which allowed us to enjoy the wonders of the world that He has provided for us. Thanks again, Chad and Gina, for your hospitality. Mike, Cody, and Ethan, thanks for a wonderful trip. Look forward to one next year.